Right. Well, things are heating up in terms of Warner Brothers. There are a lot of people circling, well, lots of companies circling. And I thought we'd just take a look at it because I think this is interesting. This will reshape Hollywood permanently. It's not a small thing, right? Like that's not an overstatement. It will genuinely reshape Hollywood permanently. So it's worthwhile taking a look at the latest, and then we'll work backwards because this has just dropped, basically, is that Netflix may buy Warner Brothers now. Actually interesting stuff. You know, if Netflix owns a traditionally theatrical Hollywood studio, that's mad. Like, that is actually mad. It also would mean the share of the streaming market, if they owned Warner Brothers with HBO Max, like all of that. Yeah, that's big. That's really big. That's very, very, very big stuff. I'm interested in this. I don't like the fact that Netflix could buy Warner Brothers. I think Netflix, actually, if you look at what they greenlight on their platform, they don't have a high amount of success, do they? Let's be honest. But let's take a look. So this is the latest news. And it just says, only weeks after Netflix leadership downplayed the idea of buying entertainment giants, the company now appears to be circling Warner Brothers Discovery, which is a move that could represent the biggest power shift in Hollywood since Disney acquired Fox, which is true. So this is according to Reuters, and it just says that Netflix has hired Moelis & Co. and gained access to sensitive financial data, Warner Brothers financial data, and they're actively exploring whether to make an offer for Warner Brothers. That is the take-homes, right? So Reuters reports that they've retained Moelis & Co. And that's important because that's a bank, and it is the same bank that helped Skydance pursue Paramount. So there's a pedigree there when it comes to these large acquisitions. They have received Warner Brothers Discovery financial information, so they've got the access to that now. And they have begun evaluating a formal bid. Quite an interesting turn of events, I think. Like, actually interesting. So per Reuters, this effort focuses specifically on Warner Brothers Studios and streaming assets, meaning HBO, Warner Brothers Pictures, and HBO Max may be on the table. Whilst legacy cable networks such as CNN and TNT likely are not. Doesn't really matter. Netflix having HBO and HBO Max, that's huge. That's really, really big. If they owned that would put them as just an absolute powerhouse. So Warner Brothers Discovery, according to the report, is weighing whether to split its assets or entertain full or partial sales after multiple unsolicited offers from Paramount Skydance. So Netflix said this wouldn't happen until it did, which makes sense. I mean, these people downplay stuff all the time. It's not really a big deal. The thing about them announcing it is that it could raise the stock price, which means that they would have to pay more. So, meh. It makes sense to downplay it. Massively, actually. The timing is striking because just recently Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos told investors they weren't looking to acquire old guard media properties. In Netflix's own quarterly investor communications, Sarandos stated, "We've been very clear in the past that we have no interest in owning legacy media networks. There is no change there." Well, doesn't look like it now, doesn't it? You know, this is a big deal. So the Netflix co-CEO Greg Peters also dismissed the idea of buying Warner Brothers a few weeks ago, claiming we're builders, not buyers. I think I covered that at the time, which was an interesting thing to say. Yeah. So it's not. This isn't pie in the sky. This looks like a legitimate pursuing from Netflix. So if Netflix buys Warner Brothers Discovery and their streaming divisions, it will have Harry Potter, DC, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, one of the most prolific TV studios in the world, HBO. and multiple IPs. It will also inherit a relatively good sort of partnership with Legendary. Legendary is, of course, the production house behind such properties as the Monsterverse. Right? So this is a big deal. This will be a big deal. And in one move, Netflix would instantly become a direct rival to Disney in both theatrical and streaming, which I think Netflix actually beats Disney on streaming, but it just retains it, I guess. It would be the largest Hollywood content machine by volume and cultural reach, and the only traditional streaming platform with both tech-first DNA and legacy cinematic IP power. That'd be crazy. That would be bloody crazy. So there's that, right? That is an interesting thing. Comcast, they want to buy it as well. So Comcast is getting involved. Don't know how much that... who knows? Who knows? But the other reports were this. So if Paramount was to take over, it looks like James Gunn would continue, apparently. And that's simply because, from Bloomberg, they allege that Paramount would want to keep Warner Brothers creative teams intact if the sale went through. And then there's this. This was 2 days ago. David Zaslav was very complimentary of the Ellison family during the Warner Brothers town hall meeting, which at the time seemingly indicated that he was, I guess, I don't know, sucking ass, buttering up a little bit. It's not like a major one, but still worthwhile adding. So there you go. I mean, a few things. I think the latest news, this, like Netflix, is a really big deal. I can't stress that enough. This would reshape Hollywood forever. And I think Disney would be shook up by this massively. This is a big deal. This would be a very, very, very big deal. So, what do you think? Would you like Netflix to own Warner Brothers or not? Let me know down below. I personally would not like Netflix to own Warner Brothers. They don't have a great track record on quality content. Netflix is very hit or miss, and they don't seem to be able to understand editors either. A lot of their stuff for streaming is terrible on the editing side. Pacing's just bloody awful. Maybe they've improved a little bit. I've not really checked Netflix out recently. So, but big deal. This is a very, 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 very big deal. So let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear it. Take care. Bye-bye now.